So the next step for lazy thumb is to look at the ones, I'm just going to talk about the minor sixes now. Look for the ones that have the lazy thumb. So this one does, this one does, this one does, this one, not really, but kinda, it's not so bad. This one doesn't. You gotta scoot your hand up and play the thumb here and all that nonsense. So for a chord like this, and these end up being a lot of the sharp dominant seventh chords, sharp key dominant seventh chords. So like, this is an A7, right? Because a fifth above E is A. Sorry, a fifth above A is E. I just almost lost my mind there for a moment. So yeah, A. Sorry, the notes pop out. I need to get this thing fixed. But there's the chord. It's not so easy to play. So I'm going to tell you, move this one down. And I think this goes back to the day. I think this is how they did it. Move that C sharp down. And instead of playing a chord substitution, a minor sixth chord, a fifth above, we're going to actually play just a first inversion dominant seventh chord. And I think that sort of breaks up what would otherwise be a little bit too much of the same thing, those rootless chord substitutions. So for 4 chords, we're going to play these first inversion dominant seventh chords, and they're not chord substitutions. These are just 1, 3, 5, 7. The chord substitutions, by the way, are giving you the 3, 5, 7, 9, but you don't need to think about that. When you're playing, there's no time. Just memorize where these chord substitutions are. When you see B flat, boom. When you see, etc. Every chord, I meant to say B flat 7. When you see G7, it's this. It's not any kind of Squaresville chord like that. It's a chord substitution. But for certain chords, we talked about the A7 already. It's got the 3 in the bass. Sorry, there's that pop out note again. And then you can do the same thing for this one. This is going to be B7. For D7, play this. And for E7, play this. So that's A7, B7, D7, E7. They're all really easy to play. They all have the lazy thumb elements. For those chords, though, you cannot do the trick of the minor pentatonic a whole step above. The benefit, and I think this, like I said, I think this is how they did it back in the day. The benefit is it breaks it up. It happens to be these sharp chords that do it. So you memorize it all to where when you see a dominant seventh chord, you have a solution. For C dominant 7, you play this one. For D flat dominant 7th, you play this one. For D dominant 7th, you're going to play this one. For E flat dominant 7th, you're going to play this one. For E dominant 7th, you'll play this one. For F dominant 7th, you'll play this one. For G flat dominant 7th, you'll play this one. And that's not technically lazy thumb. You can do it. I do that. It's lazy enough. So where were we there? That was G flat dominant 7. For G dominant 7, it's this. A flat dominant 7 is this. A7 is this one. And again, that is a 3 in the bass, first inversion. A flat dominant 7th. Wait, we already did that. Sorry, B flat dominant 7th is this. And then B dominant 7th is going to be another 3 in the bass version. Next trick. To play a half diminished 7th, you're going to play another minor 6th chord, but this time you're going to bring it up a minor 3rd. So here's a famous half diminished, naturally occurring B half diminished 7th, or B minor 7 flat 5. And you're just going to go up a minor third and play the D minor 6. There it is. And again, this is not a chord substitution. This is just an inversion of this chord. Usually when you see these half diminished sevenths, they are in conjunction with a fully diminished seventh, and they're going to resolve down to a minor chord like this. And so the way to do that is to not overthink it. Again, just rote memorization. When you're playing one of these half diminished, minor 7 flat 5, where there's density, you break it up. And so you see those two notes together and you just break up the density, like they say in yoga. And there you have that trick. Now you also are going to want to learn sort of root, position, half diminished, and fully diminished. And then, as always, you have a choice. You don't need to play that particular you don't need to play this particular note, voice leading, or whatever you call it. You may just choose to play the fully diminished seventh for both chords, as is always the case. Like a 2-5, as you know, you don't need to play a D minor and then a G and then a C. This chord will suffice for both. So that's your trick for, or that's a trick for half diminished chords. You play a minor 6, again a minor 6, this time it's a minor third above. There's a trick for major sevenths that only works at certain spots, but it really works great in C, where you play a major third above. This shape, it's again lazy thumb, and this is going to give you a very dissonant major 7 in C, which is very handy. But again, it doesn't work in every key, and luckily it works in C and F, which are the two places you kind of want it the most. Anyway, I hope that is helpful for an introduction to lazy thumb technique. Patent pending. Love you.